Oh man, just hours away. Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here or you've been here before, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button for me. Also, turn on a notification bell when you subscribe. That way you will be alerted when I drop a new video or go live. Also, please drop your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about everything Knicks. And we are here just hours away from the very first games of the 2025-26 season. It's preseason. We know it's preseason. It's going to be early in the morning for me. 9 a.m. start, noon start for you guys in New York. But I am hyped. I am very hyped, especially today. Some video was put out by the New York Knicks themselves of the Knicks in practice. And what we're seeing is actually what Mike Brown has been preaching all along about what he wants the Knicks to do, the new concepts. And it looks like they're starting to take shape on the court itself. I got that video for you guys. This is going to be a pretty short video. I just wanted to touch base and discuss whatever has popped up today in the news. Let's get to it. Alrighty. So here, I mean, obviously, like I said, tomorrow, or if you're watching this tomorrow in the morning before the game begins, October 2nd, the Knicks play the Sixers. Embiid will not be playing, I believe, but Maxey, I think Maxey will be playing. Paul George will not be playing, so it's going to be interesting. The Knicks, Knicks should win that game. And it's been reported that Mike Brown plans to play the starters in the first half, and then look at the rest of the roster for the second half. I mean, they're bringing 21 players, so that should basically keep them. They have enough bodies. In fact, let's look at that here. Here are the 21 players that have made the preseason roster. We got Clarkson, Deuce, Josh Hart, Dadier, Brogdon, Malcolm Brogdon. Some interesting stuff came out about Brogdon today. He basically intends on making this roster. He may have signed a non-guaranteed contract, but he said he had offers from other teams, not offers, but other options, I think is the exact wording. So that's going to be interesting. Who is going to be traded to make the signing of Brogdon? And I believe that Shamet is also going to be brought back as well. But what happens? Who is going to be traded here? That's another topic that we have to discuss, but let's get back to this. Here we go. So, remember this quote from Deuce on media day? Or maybe it was after the first practice. Yeah, it was after training camp had begun. Deuce, he was quoted as talking about looking forward to playing in Mike Brown's offense. Quote, a lot more player movement, ball movement. Last year at times we got stagnant and we depended on a lot of isolation shots, which is tough down the stretch. This year, it's going to be a little more freedom with the movement and a lot of guys cutting, guys getting active. Absolutely. That is something I've been preaching here on Into the Knicks-Verse since the beginning of the Thibodeau era. He likes a slower pace. He likes a more ISO-heavy offense, which can work to some extent, especially when you have ISO wizards like and now Jalen Brunson and now Karl-Anthony Towns. When you have a team like that loaded with two guys that are incredible one-on-one, you're going to try to feature that more often. The downside of that is the other three guys on the court start standing around and they get stagnant. You know, they don't, and then when the ball finally comes their way with the shot clock about to wind down to zero, they just have to hoist the shot and hope it goes in. But they're not in. They're not in the motion of the offense. They're not in a groove yet. So the offense ends up suffering from that standpoint. And then it's such a much bigger burden on Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns to deliver at all times, which they did a lot last year. So we're not talking about moving away completely from that, but the ability to have a motion offense where it's based on ball movement and player movement, then if something breaks down, then you have Jalen to go to for an easier, but not an easy bucket, or a must make, towards the end of the shot clock. So that's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how Mike Brown balances this out. However, there's a lot of proof that he's been able to do it. But first, let's look at the video from the practice today. Look at that. Look at that. All right. So, look at Jalen whipping around. Yabusele stops his progress. Cat gets it out, fakes, and he blows past Mitch. Now, one thing is interesting here, too. We'll get back to this. So, Mitch is in gray. Mitch is with the second unit. I'm assuming Josh Hart, who's the guy standing next to Mike Brown, to Mike Brown's left there with his back to us, in the black hoodie. I'm assuming he's in the blue jersey, in the starter jersey, because you can see Jalen Brunson is all the way to the right of his father. He has his kind of like curled up. He's got the blue on top. Cat's in the middle with the white sleeves. He's got the blue, and you can see Mikal Bridges to the left, our right of Cat. He's got the blue. So the blue is the starters. Gray is the second unit, and looks like Mitch. This is a photo posted by Stephen Bondi today. It looks like Mitch is right now with the second unit. Now, Mike Brown did say that he is not. Let's go to here. Right here, Stephen Bondi tweeted this out. This afternoon, before his debut as Knicks coach, Mike Brown still hadn't settled on the fifth starter. It's great. That's I know it's going to end up being Mitch. It's gonna make the most sense that it's Mitch. He has to figure out how to make that work in terms of if you want the maximum floor spacing as possible. So that's part of the process here. I like that he's experimenting, and at the end of the day, that's his job. Figure it out and not be so stubborn, to use the word, on deciding something before he even sees that it's working or not. And who knows, he may start with Hart. He may start Deuce at some point. There's even been some rumblings of Yabusele. You may start him. But it doesn't mean that that's going to, once he starts that, it's going to go through the whole season. I have a feeling he's going to experiment. But at the end of the day, it seems like it makes the most sense that Mitch becomes the starter because of what he brings you defensively. He just, that defensive anchor in the back line, we've talked about it before, it's just necessary when you have weakish defenders like Cat and Jalen. However, Cat, he stepped it up in the playoffs defensively, and Jalen as well stepped it up in the playoffs as well. So maybe if the minutes aren't so intense on these guys, they can give you more on both ends. That's another benefit of that. All right, let's get back to this guy here, because this is a beautiful thing. Gotta watch this again. Look at this. Just whipping around. No hesitation, just whipping it around. Finds the guy, brings it down low, kicks it back out, and then Cat finishes. So we got 1 pass, 2 passes, 3 passes, dribble, 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 dribble. 4th pass, and then here comes the 5th pass. 5th fake, 5th pass. 5 passes. Look how quick this is. Counting the seconds here. How many seconds did this take? 6 seconds? 7 seconds? That is a nice quick motion. There it is. It's happening. Here's another video too from day 2 of the practice, just showing them just running for layups. Look at the speed. That was Hakporti. Diawara. There's OG. Just constant speed, pace, motion. This is totally crucial, absolutely crucial. And I will show you how this turns out to be a reality here. Okay. So here are the New York Knicks numbers from last season. This is the pace. Knicks were 26th in pace, a 97.64 pace last season. Now let's look at the pace of the Sacramento Kings team, not last season because Brown only coached like 18 games of that. Let's look at the season before that. All right, they were 12th in pace, a 100.99. That is 16 slots higher than what the Knicks were last year. Now, it's not blazing pace. It's not Golden State Warriors pace, but remember, that's where Brown came from. The Warriors, that's under Steve Kerr is where he learned this motion offense, and he tried to implement it with the Kings, and he got it up to almost a 101 in pace. See how that manifests itself in passes. So in passes, the Sacramento Kings in that season were number 2 in passes made in the NBA, 305.6 passes. In turn, the Knicks last season were down here. You can't even see them. Here they are, 18th, 281.2 passes. 281.2 passes versus 305. That is an additional 24 passes per game. There you go. That right there is proof that Mike Brown walks the walk. Now, how does that manifest itself in actual shot attempts? Mike Brown, that Sacramento team, let's see if you can get it up here. That Sacramento team here with Barnes and Keegan Murray, Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox, DeMontis Sabonis, that team, the team stats, in actual field goal attempts, total field goal attempts in 82 games, they were 6th in the NBA. And in 3-point field goal attempts, that team was 3rd in the NBA. So, you get more shot opportunities. Now, their shooting percentage, that was 14th overall for them in field goal percentage, and in 3-point percentage, it was 16th. When you look at the Knicks, this is the beauty of this. This is the Knicks last season. The Knicks were only 18th in field goal attempts. They attempted less field goals. And 3-point attempts, 27th. That's terrible. They want to get more. They want to average. Here's this 34.1 field goal attempts, 3-point field goal attempts per game. Brown wants them to average around 40. So let's say 38 to 40. What were they averaging here? They were averaging almost 40 here last year, the Kings, 39.3. So, think about this. If Brown can get the Knicks to up their speed, their pace, it'll turn into more shot attempts for them. And since more shot attempts for them means more makes for them, because they were 5th in the NBA in field goal percentage, 48.6%. And in 3-point percentage, they were 8th best in the NBA at a 36.9%. And that might even be a little low. 36.9%. Remember I showed you that the Knicks now added much better 3-point shooters on this squad? And from the corners, Cat, OG, Deuce, and Josh Hart all had down years from the corner threes. I'm expecting all those to tick up. And then when you look at this here we go. This is I put this in the video from yesterday. You can see the 3-point percentages all the way on the right side. Now you are swapping Precious for Yabusele at 38%, where Precious was at 27%. So almost 10% points better. Clarkson and Campaign were about the same, and Brogdon and Precious were about the same. But Brogdon's year was a down year. I have a feeling that he's going to return back to his normal self of shooting near 40% from the 3-point line. So the Knicks have increased their ability to create more shot attempts. It looks like it. And they're going to make more. They're going to make more. All right. Well, here's another thing. Get your New York Knicks edition Knicks-Verse hats. Their link is down below in the description. Check it out. They're fantastic. I can't wait for mine to arrive. Just designed them right now. They're hot. and they're ready for the new season because this is going to be the most exciting season for the New York Knicks fans in like 50 years. I'm totally convinced of that. All right, I will be doing a post-game recap of the first preseason game tomorrow, so look for that. And just going to be putting out tons of content, and the channel will be evolving. So I look forward to everyone's input on it as well. And I love that the ball is moving and the players are moving at a pace that we have not seen with the Knicks. Actually, there were moments where Thibs did get the players to move and the ball was moving. But it was short-lived. It was short-lived. Here, I have a feeling there's going to be such an emphasis on it. It's going to create more shot opportunities. And with the Knicks' quality shooters that they have, their scoring is going to go up even much more so. So they had the 5th best-rated offense last year. But that's overall. It did drop from after January 1st through the end of the season. I think it dropped to about 11th or something. I'm expecting this to be one of the best offenses in the NBA this coming season. It will take some time, though. It will take some time, so we're all going to have to be patient. But today, I'm saying for those who are watching this now, for today, we can enjoy the promise of what we've been seeing and hearing from Mike Brown and the players themselves. Okay, I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go!